welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Sometimes with this being audio-only product, I try and paint a picture for the people that are listening, Nelson.
Okay.
And
yes.
sometimes people will wear a band T-shirt of something they really like, or they'll represent maybe a luxury brand that they're really into that they think represents them. Do you want to explain to people the jumper that you're wearing and what it says?
I'm wearing a hoodie that I actually got gifted to me. It's not something I would buy myself.
But it suits you, I'd say.
When I left my last job, and it says, it's like a dictionary entry. It says data analyst, noun, an individual who does precise. Oh my God. I have to read this backwards as well because I'm reading
do you want me to read it?
Yeah. Is it easier for you?
An individual who does precise guesswork based on unreliable data provided by those of questionable knowledge.
Yes, and also...
Oh, sorry. See also wizard and magician. Yes.
Yeah.
I do like that, it's not a musician. It's not a luxury brand. What defines you is a black hoodie with plain white text that says data analyst.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
And as for me, Nelson, plain gray.
Plain gray.
So,
most plain you can get, yes. Yeah, well, it's not... I definitely only wear this indoors.
Yeah,
it's
a
house.
Hoodie,
Kemba, before we get into it, this something happened to me this week. Well, actually, I've been reading recently articles from the ABC in particular about how
you are an inner city lefty, Nelson. Of course, you're reading the ABC.
How many millions, or in fact, I think billions, perhaps, of dollars Australians are being scammed out of in recent history over the past little while, and I was like, this is it's pretty bad. Like, gets me angry that scammers are kind of getting away with a lot of this stuff. And just yesterday, I actually had sorry, I'll provide some extra context too, which I thought was interesting, which was the ABC was working with some dude. He's like a kind of ethical hacker type thing, or he basically tries to get back at the scammers a little bit. Has a YouTube channel, I think, as well, probably how he gets his income. But so he kind of does a thing where he, depending on what they're trying to do, they get into his computer, but he kind of has a system where he gets into theirs, and then he kind of looks at their whole operation just kind of silently in the background, and kind of can hack into their like web camera calls and stuff like that. It was really interesting. And there's one where he's actually monitoring WhatsApp messages between this guy and a company. I can't even remember what they're trying to do, but some like stock investing or something. And they said, the crazy thing about this one is that this guy's already been scammed, and this new scam is claiming that they are kind of helping people who have been scammed before to kind of get their money back.
Right.
Anyway, so they end up, there's like conversation with this guy, blah, blah, history going on. And so then the ABC ended up trying to call this guy with the scammer and with this ethical hacker dude. And they say, hey, we're from the ABC. We're just letting you know you're being scammed right now. We can see all these messages, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so they like finish that conversation. Then the guy messages the people on WhatsApp. He's like, hey, I've just had the ABC contact me. They're thinking that they're saying that you're a scam. And then they said, oh, no, the ABC thing. Yeah, we've heard of that before. That's a scam, actually. And they're trying to scam you. And then the article goes to talk about how like these scammers build a rapport with people for so long that they become the most trustworthy source.
Yeah, wow.
Anyway, I was like, man, that's so like sad that's happening to this guy. It feels really bad for him. Anyway, just the other day, I had a WhatsApp message come through to me, and it was a WhatsApp message with like I imagine, I didn't really check, hundreds of other numbers in there. WhatsApp group, it was like, had an Instagram logo. It said, hey, we're like paying people to do Instagram posts or something like this. And I don't know. I didn't even like read that much into it, but looking through the comments, there's people being like, "Oh my god, is this real?" And someone a little bit further down being like, "Oh hey, I've done the thing, but I haven't got my money yet." So, and then they've promptly responded, "Oh, just it takes a little while. Don't worry about it." And then amongst that is a bunch of admin deleted messages. So I was like,
right.
well,
yeah, what do you reckon they were?
I know mine's going to be deleted, but I'll write this anyway. And I said, this is clearly a scam. Hopefully somebody reads this message before the admins delete it.
Yeah.
But they deleted it within, I want to say, 5 seconds.
Wow.
Like, they were very quick. But what I decided reading through that was this was so obviously and clearly a scam that if you're being like, oh my God, is this real? and willing to buy into it, then maybe you deserve to be scammed. I've changed my tune.
Yeah, okay.
I think if you're dumb enough to be scared, I no sympathy for the victims anymore. I'm sorry. If it's a really clever one, then maybe I'll have some sympathy for you. But one that's just like, hey, we'll pay you money for doing nothing.
Yeah.
Want to get in on this? Then I'm sorry. No sympathy. See you later. You deserve to be scammed. Pay me $100 and I'll tell you not how to get scammed. Yes. Anyway.
Oh, good warning. Good warning at the top of the show. We like to start sometimes our show with a cybersecurity warning.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's get into it. This first one, first read on Reddit, is by Massive Albatross 823, and it was in the subreddit something or other that we've been doing recently. I forgot. I didn't paste the thing. Hypothetical situations. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
You will get $1 billion if you prevent the stranger, points at Florida man, from being in his own bed tonight. What is your plan? If you do anything illegal to make it happen, then you will not receive the $1 billion. There's more context here.
Yeah.
If you have another do something illegal to make it happen, you will still not receive the $1 billion. If a stranger gets any knowledge of your mission, then you will not receive the $1 billion. If you bribe the man, you are disqualified. If the man calls the police, you are disqualified. If you are successful and also made the man cry, you get a bonus of $10,000.
Oh, okay, right.
Which is an insanely small amount.
Yeah.
When you're getting $1 billion.
I was about to say, okay, well, let's try and work that into it. But realistically, I don't think I would.
Massive Albatross has no concept of how much $1 billion is.
Actually, hang on. If we make the person cry, but they don't sleep in a different bed, do we get the 10,000 and not the 1 billion?
Ah, okay. Yeah. So there's still a chance.
Yeah, still a chance. It's like a backup.
Yeah. Like, okay. Oh, amazing. I get 10,000.
Yeah. Okay. So you can't do anything illegal, and they can't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I would say
it's hard not to do anything illegal. My mind instantly went to arson.
Yeah. Kidnap.
Yeah.
It's well, I would
I'll kill a man for $1 billion.
He ain't sleeping in no bed no more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the trick would be, if you were going the illegal route, would be to break into their house, steal their bed.
Yeah.
But we can't do that. So I think you need to do a little like spend money to make money situation here.
Yeah.
In which you need to offer them something better that night.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Like, here's the question: is how we do this convincingly?
Yeah.
Because we need to somehow go, oh my, you're never going to believe this, but I have 2 tickets to this show tonight that's been sold out for ages, and it actually comes with accommodation at this luxury hotel.
It's in Las Vegas.
And I can't use them. Yeah. I cannot use them. And I thought, you seem to me a person that would love this. So
yeah, and they're like, who the hell are you? I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
This sounds like a scam.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like,
I've just been listening to a podcast. They've been warning me about scams.
No, we're the
top
guys.
of every show. Yeah. It's tricky to. I mean, I don't know. They've obviously said this is Florida man, which is maybe somebody of
Yeah, a bit wild,
questionable intellect or something. Yeah. But so maybe you could just, I mean, drugs. Maybe be like, hey, want a bunch of drugs tonight?
Do you want a bunch of drugs, and can I sleep in your bed for these drugs, and you sleep somewhere else? Cool. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's true. Is that bribing? Nah, not necessarily. What if they just but is it illegal?
Oh, you're giving someone drugs. Yeah. It's illegal to sell drugs.
Just give them to them.
But is it illegal to supply drugs? I would think no. Nelson.
That's convenient.
Yeah. No. You get me. I wasn't selling the drugs, Your Honor. I was simply supplying the drugs.
I was giving the drugs.
Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake. You're free to go. Yes.
Yeah. It is weird that you supplied him with a kilogram.
And he just owed me that money. That was incidental money.
Yeah. Okay. Here's perhaps a loophole we could try to get through.
Yep.
It says prevent the stranger from being in his own bed tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what constitutes as somebody's own bed? Right?
Yeah. Okay.
You could go to him. This is what I'm thinking. You get a luxurious bed. No, wait. Maybe luxurious isn't right. You get a racing car bed, because who can turn up a racing car bed? And you say to the guy, hey, I'll give you this bed. We'll swap beds. You take this bed. I'll take your bed. Look how cool this bed is. It's got racing stripes down the side. Your dreams will be so fast. He'll be like, yeah, cool. I take his bed.
Yeah.
But he is not now the owner of that bed. It's just a loan.
Mm-hmm. I'm
just loaning the race car bed to him. So then...
Yeah, I think that definitely counts. It'll be tough. We need the right demographic of person to get the appeal of the race car bed.
It is really hard. This is way harder than I think it seems. Because I'm still thinking of, I'm thinking of me, right?
Yeah.
Thinking if somebody approached me and was like, hey, have this bed. It's better than yours. I've never met this person before. They bumped out an error. I'm like, this is weird. And I don't really feel comfortable just swapping over my bed for no reason. Even though the red racing car bed is pretty sick.
Red flags would be going up. Yeah. I'm like, God, they really want me to sleep in this racing car bed. Something is going on.
I'd be like, I'm going to wake up with no kidneys.
Yeah, honestly. Okay. Here's a plan. And you would say, Nelson, it's not illegal to lie to someone, right? We're not breaking the law by lying to someone. No. What we need is an enormous fumigation tent. And what we do is while they're away, we cover their house in a fumigation tent and we put on some high-vis jackets.
Oh.
And then when they come home, we say, thank God you're here. We've been trying to contact you. There's been a gas leak and there's been all kinds of stuff has actually gone through and there's been a burst pipe in your house.
That's good.
We're fumigating it. We know it's inconvenient. What we've done, we've got you the motel down the road. We've got you a bed there for tonight.
Yeah.
It'll be done by tomorrow.
Yeah.
In fact, it'll be so done by tomorrow, you'll never see us again.
Yeah. In fact, probably as soon as you leave here, it'll be done. Yeah. Probably, maybe. Don't check, though.
Don't check until tomorrow. Just be safe. Now, is anything we do there, is that illegal?
How illegal is it to cover somebody's house with a fumigation tent?
Because we could just say it's a fun prank.
Yeah.
Because we're not gaining anything from them. To be clear, there is a monetary incentive for us to do this, but not what they think.
Yeah.
Like we're not getting money from them by lying and scamming them.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna risk the arson. You know, how could I accidentally do arson? That's the real question.
What have we been overthinking this, Nelson? Do we just need to release a bunch of bed bugs into their house?
Oh, is that illegal?
Oh, yeah. Good. If it's not.
I like how we keep going to things that are probably illegal.
If it's not illegal, it'll be, you know, how you find out those rules that are like specific to a state and you're like, oh, someone must have done something for that law.
Yeah.
When there's a law being like, oh, you know, you can't actually deliberately infest someone else's house with bed bugs in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
We'd be like, we did that. That law's there because of us.
That's us.
We did it, and they tried to charge us, and it wasn't illegal.
We got out the law book, and we said, point to where it's illegal. Okay, the last plan.
Yeah.
Last plan campaign. We pay people constantly throughout the day, different people, to knock on this person's door and say, hey, are you going to sleep in your bed tonight? And when they say yes, they say, okay, cool. And then they leave. And then by the 50th person who's knocked on the door and asked this question, and he says,
just checking you're sleeping in your bed tonight. Yep.
And he goes, no, I'm not going to. And they're like, oh, no, please. Oh, please sleep in your bed tonight. Oh, please. And then like beg him until he closes the door off them. But then there's another like 1,000 people to come visit him, Cambo. There is no way that dude is sleeping on his bed.
This is good. Reverse psychology. Yeah. We just really insist that he does sleep in his bed tonight.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's the simplest. And again, as far as we know, Nelson, not illegal.
Not illegal.
not illegal to keep asking if someone's...
Then they have to put it in the law book.
Do you know in the state of Florida, you can't keep asking someone if they're sleeping in their bed tonight?
All right. Let's move on into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by Gone. No, it was by AirDesk, but it was cross-posted to us by Gone Fish Caking. What's a common social etiquette rule you just don't agree with?
This is.
Do you have any off the top of your head? I've got some comments here because I was interested to know what other people were complaining about.
Look, this is really specific, but anything to do with like the royal family, you know how you hear those rules about if you meet the queen or the king, you can't talk before they talk. You can't, all of that. It's all such bullshit.
Right.
They're people. Yeah. They're regular people. They can handle someone saying, hello, you know.
That was like, I remember somebody, this is going to be weird. Only long-time listeners will remember this reference that I think you gave one time when it's like Steve Carell was coming to a cinema and they were like, the temperature has to be this much. And we kind of theorized that, well, it was just like his publicist or somebody, you know, that was managing him and was like, oh, what temperature do you like? It's like, 30 degrees or 20 something, whatever. Yeah. And they were like, all right, it has to be that sort of degrees forever. I feel like it's the same because I've heard another story of somebody meeting the Queen. They were like, oh yes, you can't, I don't know, make eye contact or something insane like that. And then the Queen like came up directly to her and was like, hello. And
is that what the Queen said?
I don't, she said, hello. And the person was like, oh, I don't think I meant to talk to you or something. And then the Queen said something like, I'm the Queen. I'm pretty sure it's fine if I tell you that it's fine.
But see, here's the thing. I understand that. And I have heard stories of, people, the faux pas of them, they say, oh, hello, Majesty. And then they go, oh, sorry. And she goes, oh, what? Like, she didn't really care.
Yeah.
But if I was the royal, I would go, hey, can you guys just not say that anymore? Can you just not put that out there as a thing?
Yeah.
And I'll just talk to them.
Nah, you'd love it, Cambo. You would persecute anyone who didn't call you His Majesty.
Well, yes. I mean, I would crush my enemies.
Yeah. But that's true. Actually, I would say my one is more general, maybe. But the idea of traditions, I think, as a whole, that often we'll have something that's like, why do we do this? And we go, well, it's just tradition. And we're like,
Yeah.
that's not a good reason
why
we're still doing this. If the reason is tradition for the reason why we do something, I don't think it needs to be done. If it's a harmless thing, sure. But if it's also something that somebody doesn't want to do, then I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we're both men that are engaged. And the one that sometimes I struggle with is the idea that now there's a difference between a father walking their daughter down the aisle and a father giving their daughter away.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I understand if you have a daughter and you're a father, you probably want to be there on the big day. I understand that as a nice connective moment.
Yeah.
But the idea that you go, here you go, you shake the hand of the groom and go, yours now, that can probably go.
Yeah, it's so funny because Ellen and I have had the exact same conversation just recently, actually, because she was saying, oh, look, yeah, like, I don't like the idea of, like, my father handing me off, but I'm really close to my dad. Yeah. And it'd be really nice if he, like, and she's like, and probably my mum, too, on the other side would be really nice. Yeah. It's like, but it's funny. Yeah, that tradition, I think we don't really need.
Even just, like, asking the father's permission for the daughter's hand.
Yeah, that's funny.
She doesn't belong to him.
Yeah.
I understand that it's a tradition that people think is nice. And again, as a father, it might be like a respect thing or anything like that. But I don't think it is necessary. You can do it to be nice and polite.
Yeah.
But if someone got really upset at you for not doing it, I would find that weird.
Yeah. I'd be like,
hey, she's mine. What are you doing?
Yeah. It's funny because I almost did, because I think this is the what's the, like, the midway point, I guess, that some people are going for, which I almost did. Yeah. Which is to call the father and tell them that you're going to propose, not ask for any permission of
bucko. Here's what's going down.
Yeah. And I almost did that to Ellen's dad, but I was like, I just still felt weird about it. I was like, nah, I'm just not going to do that. I didn't ask
either, which is probably why I think it's fine to not ask.
Yeah, that's true. Rolly does hate you there and will forever.
That's true.
Okay, let's go through some ones people have shared here, because I put in all the ones that I agreed with or wanted to make fun of. Yeah. So, as I often do. Nobody is safe on Reddit, Cambo. This by Equivalent Lemon 2742. Not taking the last piece of food on a sharing platter. The number of times I've seen a perfectly good piece of garlic bread go cold and get thrown away. Yeah. I hate this one.
I think the only etiquette you need to do if it's the last piece is you say, would anyone want to split this? Just to check.
Split this.
Just to check. Because people might have had their eye on it too, and it's just nice to go, you know what, we both want this last bit, splitsies.
Yeah, I sort of get that too. I think that's polite to do.
Yeah.
But I don't think that needs to become its own etiquette.
That's true, actually. It's a nice to do, but you don't need to do it.
But if you just want to take that last piece, go for it.
Yeah.
That, I think, is.
In fact, here's what you do at the start of the meal. If the plate of garlic bread comes out, you go, "I dibs the last piece."
Yeah, that's
everyone
good.
knows.
I remember talking to a friend who said, his uncle convinced him that taking the second last piece was rude, because then that meant it left the last piece there for nobody to claim, which then just created this flow-on effect for whoever takes the first piece is actually the worst.
Imagine that the plate comes down, someone grabs the first piece, and you go, "You bastard!
How dare you?" Well, now I guess I'll have to take the next piece. Yeah, so I actually think as well that I've had the opposite problem in my life, where having an Italian mother has left me very, very full, too full on occasions, and there being a small amount of food left on a plate, and we're like forced to eat it. It's not that anybody, people are eyeing it off and it's like, oh, who will take it, who won't? It's like my mum being like, all right, which of you suckers has got a small bit of room in their stomach they can cram more mashed potato into? Oh God, it's a slippery slope.
Do you want me to read this next one here?
Okay.
This is by Where We're Dreaming 316. I've never understood why people are afraid to tell someone else they have food in their teeth or something on their face. I'm going to be more embarrassed if I get home and see the lipstick on my teeth, and I'm going to be annoyed with you for not mentioning it.
Yeah, I think this one is a good one. I admit I'm bad with this too. When somebody's got something in their teeth, I'm not instantly. My first thought isn't, I should tell them.
Yeah, to me,
I still find it awkward.
I find that it is dependent on how well I know them.
Yeah, that's
true. If
true.
I've just met them, I'm too scared to say it. But if I know them, I will tell people.
Yeah. One of my just last week, one of my bosses had something in her teeth. And I didn't feel comfortable enough.
And now you're not at that job anymore.
Now I'm not at that job anymore.
Wow.
I quit because I was like, I can't do this. It's too much pressure. Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
and we were like,
before you leave for the last time, Nelson, is there anything you want to tell me? No.
I just keep like licking my own teeth. Yeah, as kind of an indication.
Hey, do I have something in my teeth? No. Why do you keep asking that? Just wondering. Okay.
Just wondering. Do you have any questions for me before I? Yeah. But do you know Ellen, my partner? She is paranoid about having. Sorry, Alan. She is paranoid about having something in her teeth. She'll ask me all the time. Yeah. There's something in my teeth, something in my teeth. And there like never is. But she'll always tell me if I've got something in my teeth too, kind of straight away as soon as it's there. And it's awkward because I do feel like it's this thing that we've built up in society or whatever, where it is like embarrassing or something or awkward not to bring up. Whereas if we just like got rid of that and we just made it the norm to like tell somebody if they've got something, it wouldn't feel awkward for anyone in any circumstance. It's just like we've been bred this way. It's
funny as well because you have this paranoia that you tell someone and they're going to get angry at you for telling them for some reason.
Yeah.
Whereas if someone ever says it to me, I'm always like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for letting me know. Right. That's actually really handy.
Yeah. Okay, this is another one. Tom Palmer, 1979. I despise that it's more socially acceptable to be an asshole than it is to call someone out for being an asshole. It's like when someone's publicly being rude, people would rather just ignore it and look the other way than say, hey, buddy, you're being a dick to everyone around you. Knock it the hell off. Okay, but this is one of the ones I wanted to make fun of.
Thank God, Nelson.
Yeah. That's like, I think this person has totally misunderstood why people don't confront somebody being a dick in public. Yeah. It's not because they think they will be persecuted for being a dick or be like, that is not the case. It's like people just realize that they don't want to get into an argument, which is most likely what will happen. It's not like you're going to help anything in that situation, probably. Somebody's being a dick, they kind of know they're being a dick. Yeah. And for you to be like, hey, stop being a dick, they're normally just going to start being a dick towards you. Yeah. And it's not like a helpful in any situation. People just ignore it because, honestly, that's sometimes the best thing to do when dicks are being dicks, is just to ignore them in their situation. And it kind of goes away.
Well, and like, selfishly, a lot of the time it is, there's no target on your back. And by saying something, there will be.
Yeah.
So therefore, people just kind of shut up generally. But it's not like they're going, that guy's being rude, but it would be rude of me to tell him that.
Yeah.
That is not what's happening in that situation.
Totally misreading every time that's happened in their life. I think. Yeah. Anyway. Oh no, we do this last one because I actually really like this last one.
Okay, is this the one
Sims
from
Pocket?
Yeah, I think Sims Pocket Camp said, when you offer someone something and they say no, even though they want it, and you need to keep offering it until it's socially acceptable for them to take it. Yeah, this is a good one.
So annoying.
It's so annoying.
So annoying. This is what I've decided to do. If I ever win the lottery, I'm going to ask my friends if they want, I'm going to offer my friends $1 million. And if they go, oh, no, I'll go, okay. And I'll move on.
Yeah.
And they will not get the opportunity again. And that will teach them to never do that again.
Here's a weird example of it. The other day, I have 2 small umbrellas. One, I sometimes keep in a backpack, and sometimes I'll keep one in my car just in case I don't have my backpack on, kind of thing. Anyway, I was going to the gym, quite rainy that morning, so I grabbed the one from my car to take with me, and then I realized as I was going to the gym, I was like, oh, I have my backpack. I have one in there anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get out of the gym, and I'm walking back from the gym to our workplace with someone else.
Yeah.
And it's starting to rain. I said, oh, hey. And I went into my backpack, and I pulled out the other umbrella. I was like, I've got a spare umbrella. And they went, oh, no, that's cool. And I was like, take it.
what are you talking about?
And I feel like in that moment, they also realized, we were like, oh, yeah, why?
Like, why would it matter? That's such a good one. It is sometimes instinct for people, isn't it? Just like instinct to say no and then think about it like, oh, this is actually really stupid. Why the fuck would you need a spare umbrella?
I wasn't like, hey, what I do? I'll run across the road and buy you an umbrella. Then maybe go, oh, no. But I had it on me because I accidentally forgot I had a spare.
Yeah, it's funny. Yes, I don't know. I was going to say something else. Anyway, it's dumb. All right, let's get into Today I Advice. So now it's time for Today I Learned. Let's play the intro to that. Today I Learned. And also sometimes advice. This Today I Learned was by Friendly Stranger for You. Today I learned that IKEA founder Ingvar Kamprad. What's the chances I even got that remotely
I think that was
close?
a fair run at it, actually.
Okay, that's good. Who started the company when he was 17.
I think it's Kamprad, if I had to guess.
What?
Kamprad. It seems like the Swedish way to...
Kamprad. You put an F in there.
Well, because I know our globes are called tradfri, but they are spelt trad-free. Which
but does this have an F? There's no F in this.
Isn't there?
No.
Oh, yeah, Prad. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Kamprad.
Yeah. I was like, I've never heard of a silent F. Well, unless you count PH. Anyway. That's kind of a silent F.
Kind of silent, yeah.
In a weird, I don't know. No, wait, not silent F, a
secret F.
It's
an undercover F.
Undercover F. Okay, anyway. He started the company when he was 17, flew coach, stayed in budget hotels, drove a 20-year-old Volvo, and always tried to get his haircuts in poor countries. So it's just a funny way to put that.
Yeah.
He died at 91 in 2018, an estimated net worth of almost $60 billion. This might be, possibly, my most favorite billionaire. I've only just realized.
Except the thing is, you're right. The phrasing is a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
As get his haircut in poor countries makes it sound like he's trying to exploit people.
Yeah.
To not spend money instead of...
He flies in coach to a poor country and then gets his haircut and then flies back home. I think that's one. Let's just say that that's perhaps phrased poorly and not how it's meant. But you know what?
At what
Love
age,
a frugal rich person.
At what age would you look at your net worth of 60 billion and go, I can spend a little bit of this now?
Yeah, maybe I'll get my haircut in a rich country.
I'm going to fly to Dubai.
It would be hard.
Get my haircut with where all the Sikhs go.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, what? That was $1 billion.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I only got 59 billion. Because the dream is, I feel like for most people, to some degree anyway, is to be extremely wealthy, but not really change your lifestyle that much. You just have a few extra luxuries and niceties, things like that. But you're like, but I'm a human deep down. I'm still going to buy the home brand soap or something. But I imagine very few people actually follow through on this. But he's a dude that seems to have just like seemingly, I mean, I don't know how else he lived. He might have lived in a quintuple story mansion, but otherwise living frugally like this, I was like, I respect that. I respect that you've had the wealth and can kind of didn't have to do much with it.
You know what kind of billionaire I think that you want to be, Nelson? I reckon you want to be able to get off a flight. You've been in economy. You've just drunk the little free water. You've declined the snacks or whatever. And then you walk off and someone says to someone else, do you know who that was?
Yeah.
That was Nelson Allingham. He's worth $60 billion. And they go, my God, he's humble.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. And what happens is all the passengers actually line the way to the airport, and they all kind of pat me on the back and cheer me as I walk between them.
Okay, Nelson, I've looked up this guy's house. It's very modest.
He's really
yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's a nice house.
Yeah, but it's not over the top. It's not Kim Kardashian style.
And it's not a mansion, like, at all. It's just a house. Like, it is a regular house.
It also annoys me too. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Give me some of those billions if you're not going to spend them. Does it say, I mean, maybe quickly Bing this, Campo, and ask what happened to Ingvar Kamprad's wealth after he died. He seems like somebody who would have left it all to a charity.
A bulk of his fortune is held in a charitable trust.
There you go.
Simply put,
nice
Kamprad's heirs retained some wealth and control, but it appears the bulk of his fortune is held in a charitable trust.
Yeah. I suppose that's right. They said that his net worth is 60 billion, which probably includes the IKEA company as a whole, which obviously isn't in
it's not liquid.
Physical, not liquid. Yes. Anyway, he's become my most favorite billionaire. So take that, Elon.
And all your other ghouls of billionaires.
Your billionaire friends.
Can I just say, on the IKEA train, there's actually something I saw in 2 places on Reddit to do with IKEA, and it's another pat on the back to IKEA. I saw this both in the subreddit Uplifting News and the subreddit Not the Onion, which is the one of a headline that seems satirical but isn't. And it says, IKEA's boss solved Swedish's retail global unhappy worker crisis by raising salaries, introducing flexible working, and subsidizing childcare. Yeah. Which is, that will do it. They're 3 very good progressive things to do.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
But I love that can read as satire of like, you just looked after people. Yeah, that'll make it happen.
Exactly. That's like, I've also heard, I think there was a Chinese airline maybe, where the CEO was, the company was a slightly different story, but the company was struggling. And so in the end, he just cut all the salaries of like all the executives, including himself, by like half, by like a really decent amount, and didn't cut the salaries of anyone else's. Started eating in like the, cafeteria area that everybody else did, kind of thing. Yeah. It was like, this is how we save the company. It's not about like cutting the wages of the people that are already struggling to get by and will be angry about it.
And have we maybe mentioned this on the podcast before about the Nintendo CEO when the Wii U launched? The Wii U was a bit of a flop, didn't really make much money. And the year after it launched, he was like, look, I approve that, and that one's on me. So he cut his own salary to make sure that things could still operate smoothly, because he saw it as himself having failed on that. That is a crazy notion to me, that an executive is like, oh, sorry guys, that's my bad.
Cambo, I wouldn't cut my salary for anyone. I would make a horrible decision that ruined the lives of millions, and I would blame it on the poorest person that worked under me.
Your hairdresser from that poor country.
Anywho, let's get into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Suprandi. No one ever came back from a vacation rested and recharged, ready for work again.
Wow, it's funny. I work with a guy that is just about to come back next month from 6
Yeah.
months off.
Whoa.
And I reckon he is well rested and recharged and ready to work again.
Yeah, but is he coming back straight from a vacation? Like, I feel like
he's
idea
taken
is like,
several holidays. He's currently overseas at the
within that 6 month period.
Yes, he's currently overseas at the moment, I believe. He doesn't start until the 1st of next month. So I guess there's still some time.
Right.
But what I'm saying is it can work, but you need to take quite a while off.
Yeah, take a while off, and then you're like, okay. Now I just feel like there's like I could never come back from a holiday. Like I'm talking about overseas trip. You know what? Even probably interstate or something trip where I'm like away from home, come back, and then the next day I go back to work again. To me, there's something about just I need to like just be at home and not do anything for at least one day, but probably 2. Like whenever I take leave off work, I'm adding on those extra 2 days after I come back from a trip because it's like I need to get back into the relaxing zone. Maybe even it's just so that I can kind of be at home and be like, is there any chores I need to do without any time pressure? Because the last thing I want to do is go straight back into work and then come home and be like, oh, and I've got to do all my washing. It's like I've just hit, jump straight into the deep end after being back from holiday. That seems like the worst for me.
Yeah, I am having the same situation at the moment where I was trying to decide how many days after my wedding I need to take before I go back to work.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you can't go straight like day after.
If I get married on a Saturday, but even the Monday feels like I need at least one more day, and I end up doing 2. So I go back on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
But yeah,
lazy. Yeah. Stacey's gone back on the Monday. Obviously, she'll probably do some work on her laptop on the Sunday.
Before the wedding.
Yeah, June. Guys, I'm just going to send this email. Keep going with the speeches. I don't know why I painted a picture as so Stacey works like 20. She works very hard, much harder than you and I. Yeah. But she's not actually. She doesn't actually work that much.
She can. She can disconnect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. This next one is by Satan's Moisture. Okay. Funny name. We have deodorant for armpits, but nothing for butt cracks.
Yeah, I guess you could do some talcum powder like a sumo wrestler.
Oh, yeah, talcum powder.
Yeah. You put that on a little baby's bum when they're small, when a nappy.
We just need to normalize
adult talcum
powder down the butt crack. I was thinking, this was a business venture idea, but the problem is talcum powder already exists. We just need to create one. It's called like a man powder.
Yeah. You know how like they rebranded water for men into Liquid Death? You aware of that company?
No, I am not.
Liquid Death is it's a water company, but they look like big beer cans essentially. And it was designed because this guy was like, I found that like a lot of like middle-aged men have a stigma about not drinking and just having a water. So I've just made it look like it's a beer anyway. And now it's quite a popular brand with like young men. But they've just rebranded water to be like, Liquid Death. And it's almost like the name is like almost ironic, It's like chose the most outlandish metal name that they could.
No, it's a good name. That's a great name. Yeah.
Okay. So we need to do that for talcum powder. Make it cool.
Death deodorant.
We just need to make it cool.
I think
because at the moment people have a stigma about putting powder in their butt.
Or we could go the Lynx route, and we say, "Put this on your butt crack, and all the ladies will come to you."
Yeah. That is how. That is how that product was marketed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Literally droves of women running at a person, being like, hell, I guess they used our product, didn't they?
Yeah. Can I talk about this slightly off-topic thing? Because you brought up water, and it just reminded me of something interesting.
Sure.
The other day, I was reading another ABC article, and it was talking about how, funnily enough, we are more at risk of being overhydrated now than we are to be dehydrated, because those water bottles and stuff that you get that are like,
big,
hey, drink all this in one day and you're doing really well, are actually too big. And it's important to keep a balanced hydration. But it was like maybe previously, although definitely not confirmed in any way, by the way, no scientific study was done to say that people were dehydrated on average, where we then felt like, oh, we need to like improve this. And so it was like, hey, keep hydrated, do all this. But actually, it's totally over-exaggerated. And because, basically being overhydrated means you have like diluted like minerals in your body, and that's really bad for you. And what I didn't realize, and this really blew my mind, and I'm totally like anti now, make sure you're always super hydrated, drink lots of water, because of this one fact, which was, so you know how it's like there's some stats, and it's slightly different for men and women. It's like, this is how much water you should drink every day. Now, I assumed naively that was based on like a study of like, your body needs X amount of water. It by doing the average activity of a man and female, you end up losing this amount of water, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with that. That stat is actually the average amount of water that either a male or a female drinks. And that's it. So they looked at how much people drank.
And say, that's how much we need.
And then said, well, the average is probably how much you need, which is just rubbish. That's
otherwise you would go, well, okay, what's the average sugar that our body needs? We'll look at the average sugar that someone takes in.
That is such a good like comparison, right? Because we know that would be astronomically wrong, because as a whole, humans consume too much sugar. It's the same. It's the same. It's like there's no like good reason why having X amount of water, the average amount of water, is the right amount of water to have. Anyway, so my message now is drink water if you're thirsty. That's probably a good indication that you need
But when
water.
you're thirsty, drink like a gallon of water.
Drink so much water.
But only when you're thirsty.
Only when you're thirsty. All right. Now it's time for podnapping. Oh my God! I'm being podnapped.
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another thing, and we do it ourselves. This week's my week. Or is it?
Yes.
Canberra.
No, I've checked.
Is it?
Yeah, I've got a big red text on the calendar here, Nelson's week. And now actually looking at next week, it also says Nelson's week. Oh, we can't go against the calendar, I guess. We
can't go against the calendar. If the calendar says it's mine 2 weeks in a row, I guess that mees I better forego this week.
No. You know, it's so funny when you just said that. A third one has appeared on the calendar.
Oh
my God.
Damn,
I forgot I got this cursed calendar.
Take that red text ready.
Okay, so you're going to forego podnapping.
Here's the thing, Cambo.
Yeah, we don't like podnapping.
I've had a really busy week in that I literally had the week off work and I did nothing. And because I was in such a leisurely mode all week, the last thing I wanted to do was think about podnapping. And so I'm going to have to forego it.
Well,
and I'm not really that sorry about it.
It's
either.
Oh my God, a fourth one has appeared, Nelson. Now you're podnapping 4 weeks in a row.
The guards.
Oh no. We better move on before it does it too many more times.
All right, let's move on to the Ask Me Anything, where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want.
Yes, got one here from Amanda. This is actually a few weeks old because it's titled Episode 401. Hey guys, congratulations on episode 400. I am weirdly proud to say that I've listened to every episode and I thought it was a solid move for episode 400 to have nothing to actually do with reading anything on Reddit. Well, thank you. I'd hate to call us brave, Amanda, but I'm reading between the lines and seems to be what you're saying.
brave and powerful and
Attractive.
Wow. It's got all the positive connotations when you read between the lines.
But let's go to the unpositives. Also featuring the Porter Boys. Got them in so many games.
Got 'em.
I feel like I had entered the Game Boys universe. I'm only sorry I wasn't able to organize surprise bickies like I did for episode 101 episodes ago. Oh, well, you probably have to wait another 99 episodes for that. Hopefully by then I'll be working on with some other talented people to make some bickies. So I have a couple of AMAs for you. First of all, have you had any near-death experiences? I have had 6 that I can think of. I unfortunately wasn't injured. I fortunately wasn't injured in any of those events, but they were all those scary moments that took. I am absolutely straining my eyes here, Nelson. I have the text so small for some reason. They were all those scary moments that you look back on and think that could have gone really bad. One involves me incorrectly using a pedestrian crossing and a driver being very inattentive. One was me being inattentive while riding my motorbike. One was me being normal while riding my motorbike, but a huntsman was involved.
Oh, God.
One was me being a fucking idiot while riding my motorbike, and a huntsman was involved. Motorbikes are dangerous enough in the real world. You don't need to add being a fucking idiot. And one was when I was coming out of an anesthetic after a major surgery. I heard 60 over 40 and crashing, and everything went dark. Incident involving a close encounter with a red-bellied black snake.
Mm.
So I should say the anesthetic and the red-bellied black snake, they're two separate incidents. I kind of read them one into the other.
Yeah. The Amanda, maybe the 60 over 40 and crashing you heard was from the bed next to you, so it was probably fine.
Yeah,
I think you were totally fine. You can cross that one off the list.
Do we want to answer this AMA before I go on to the second AMA?
Okay, yes. When have you had any near-death experiences, Cambo?
I mean, I don't think I've had any near-death experiences that I know of.
I'm sure I've tried to kill you several times. You just never know.
But I'm sure I've had many where it's like, oh, if I had been a second later, I would have crashed into that, but I'm blissfully unaware of it.
Oh, right. Yeah,
or like I've had things like, I remember once an axe flew past my head and went into a tree next to me because someone threw it and slipped out of their hand.
Yeah, see, I feel like that's close.
But that's it wasn't like, it didn't skim my ear or anything. But it was close enough to give me a fright.
You weren't injured by it anyway.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I remember one I think I've spoken about actually on the podcast before, ages ago, when I was doing disco parties for little kids in the disco business we called lightning discos, me and my friend. There was one time when, and it's funny because I only had this realization like way after it actually happened, but we had 2 cables that they were just like kind of exposed wires that you would plug into kind of the socket of these big speakers that we had, and that went into an amp.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I was looking at them and I was about to plug them into the speakers, and there was like electricity arcing between the 2 things, and I was like, that's crazy. And anyway,
is that got a Heisenberg bridge when the electricity hits one thing to the other?
Heisenberg, yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Anyway, so I like plugged them into the speaker, didn't think anything of it. I think I even said to Scott at the time, I was like, hey, did you just do that? And he was like, what? No, I don't know. And just like kept moving on. And then years later, Scott ended up doing like an audio engineering course. And he's like, holy shit, Nelson, we have been doing something incredibly dangerous that I had never thought about before. He said, the amp has like 1,000 volts going through it or something, like an insane amount of electricity. And he's like, we need to make sure that we connect shit before we turn the amp on. And then I had, like, as he said that, I had this memory from those years earlier where I saw that arc of electricity and I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I almost died that night.
Wow.
And I didn't realize. So yeah, that was like and amazing that just didn't happen by chance any other time. You know, like there wasn't any specific order that we put stuff in. So probably plenty of times the amp was off when I was plugging it in.
Yeah.
But there would have been plenty of times where the amp was on when I was plugging it in too. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Well,
and the other time was like I was walking across the road and I wasn't looking because I heard the sound of the crosswalk going off, but it was the one behind me.
Oh yeah,
and I kept going,
I've
and
almost
then,
been caught with that.
Yeah, almost died then, but that was fine.
Great. Well, Amanda says, my second AMA is a very personal question, so maybe you won't want to answer it. No. I always say ask us anything, Amanda. Don't you worry about that.
Anything.
You've both been very upfront about not wanting to add to the human population. And you're both in a committed, loving relationship. So I'm guessing that there's been a bit of pressure from some family members about you starting a family. Oh, yes. Have you had your vasectomy yet? This is too personal, Amanda. I can't believe you've asked this.
We would never answer.
Obviously, don't ask us anything. No, I haven't had a vasectomy yet. Nor have you.
You coward. You coward, Cambe.
It's one of those things. It's funny, like, Stacey did ask me once, like, when do you think you have a vasectomy? And I said, I guess not even properly thinking about it. I said, I don't know, like maybe when I was like 40. And then she was just like, why? And then I was just like, I didn't have an answer to that. I don't know. I just said it. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah. So you've since had a vasectomy?
Yes, that day,
Yeah.
No, I haven't had a vasectomy yet.
Yeah. I said it to Ellen because she's on interferon, is it called?
It's interferon indeed. Interfering with the lovemaking.
Which is obviously a form of birth control. Gets a little implant in her arm thing. Pretty common. But for what I know, it's really painful to get. Yeah. Also expensive and stuff like that. And I said to her, I was like, I'm happy to just get a vasectomy if you want. Like I'm totally fine to get one now. And she said, oh well, look, she's like, let's wait until this one has like worn off. It lasts like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years or something. And she's like, and then, you can get it after that. Yeah. But that's pretty much the only thing I guess we're waiting for, because I was like, I don't care. Yeah. I'll just get one now. I know I'm not having kids, so
maybe.
Well, I'm like still, I don't know. I guess there's still the, we've sort of said we reserve the right to change our mind if for some reason we do want kids. But I also know that vasectomies, I think, are reversible too. If you really,
I believe that they are. Yeah, it's in that thing where we are fairly confident we don't want kids. There is a very slim possibility that one of us changes our mind then, and that would be okay. And we are still within the age that is fine and doable. But yeah, I don't know. The good thing about getting a vasectomy is it would give me a podnapping that week. So that's fine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're just going to describe the procedure.
I'll just record it when I'm there. Have you done it? Have you done it yet? Have you done it? I didn't really feel that.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway.
Can't believe Amanda asked that.
How dare she? All right. That's it for the episode. Thank you for writing in, Amanda. If you would like to write into us, you can do so. readitpodcast, readitpodcast @gmail.com. You can also reach us at our subreddit and our Discord. The link is in the show notes. And we'd appreciate if you could rate the show and subscribe if you haven't already. And that's it. Thanks for listening, and we will read you later. Thank you.